What's up, guys? I am Jonah. I'm a freshman in college, which probably isn't not for long. I'm about to get ready to go to my summer year, but I'm 18 years old. I'm about to be 19, which is absolutely absurd to think about, just in the fact that I'm closer to 30 than I am to 0. Saying that sounds like I'm an old head. Better not get cracked on for that. I feel like my grandfather would say something like that. I kind of just want to talk about what I'm learning, my experiences, especially being a student in college, being a Christian guy in a secular university, and just things I'm learning. I mean, I want the vibe to feel more like a conversation and videos, and I feel like this is it. I mean, just chilling on the couch, looks beautiful outside. It feels great outside. I would be outside, but I tried this outside and it's mad windy, but it'd be alright. Anyways, just a little bit about me. Just so you guys know who I am. I grew up in a Christian home, which is I feel like there's a lot of things that people kind of off-put. They're whenever they're saying their testimony, they're like, yeah, I was born into a Christian family. But something that I heard that really opened my eyes is just the favor of God on your life to be where you're at. He placed you in a family where you could find him at a young age, and that's an extreme blessing that I'm very thankful for, and I feel like it's so easy to take for granted, and I always knew of God, oh yeah, Jesus loves you, and I'm yeah, but I never really knew what that meant till later. I got into middle school, and middle school is kind of a time where you're starting to find out who you are, right? I was extremely extroverted, very attention seeking type of kid. I was just being a kid. I was a middle schooler, 12. It's from this time that I was oh yeah, Jesus loves you, man, but I wasn't living that out fully. I was lukewarm is the way to say it. I wasn't really worried about. I was oh yeah, man, I'm a Christian, but my actions said otherwise. I was in a friend group that weren't the best influences for me. They started getting involved with drugs and stuff like that, and praise the Lamb that he protected me from that, because I was around it, but he protected me from partaking it. There was always something inside of me that was hey, no, I'm not gonna do this. So I went through middle school. I was wild kid. I was just learning. It was a lot of learning in those years, acting out, stuff like that. Anyways, I went through middle school. Around 8th grade and 9th grade, in that time, I was I started also hanging around the same friends, but I started hey, what, Jesus loves me, what I'm saying? Started getting to my word a little bit, and then COVID happened, which was a very hard time for many, and it was a time where I could really learn who I am, what I'm saying? And I'm saying that in the sense of okay, all these influences and stuff, I was still, playing PlayStation with my friends and stuff, but I really had a time to learn who I am. Around this time that I started growing closer to God, I was kind of calming down, I was still the same kid. That happened, still around the same friend group, and then this Saturate, it's called Saturate, it's this retreat that my church does where we fast. And during this retreat, if you don't know what fasting is where we deny our flesh, so anything that's could be taking us from God, what I'm saying? I don't know, somebody could fast secular music, hey, I'm not going to listen to music, I'm just going to listen to Christian music, things that honor God and stuff like that, denying what the flesh wants, so your soul can grow, so you can draw closer to God. Anyways, Saturate was coming around, and I had some friends who were in the church, and I was hey man, you coming? And he was they were all nah man, can't, got something going on. I'm I bet. So, me. I went up to my mom, hey mom, I'm not going. And she was yes you are. And I was dang it. And I was very salty about it, what I'm saying? As I said, I started getting more involved, reading my word a little bit every once in a while, but I wasn't I didn't want to go, what I'm saying? But now I would love to go, So that started happening. It was one of those moments where you're God, I see what you're doing, and I'm not for it. Let's be honest, you're I was starting to realize, I was God's really trying to draw me in, and I was yikes, I don't know about this. And so I finally locked in. I started getting involved with church, I started trying to make Christian friends, having friends I could do life with. I started getting friends who could keep me accountable, healthy friends that I haven't had before, and from that moment I just went all in, really found who God was. I didn't just know about God, I knew God. And that's a little little bit of my testimony. And yeah, but this is the channel. Faith-based type videos, as I said. Just making videos and stuff like that. Just what I'm learning and stuff like that. Chill vibes, as I said, like having a personal conversation, like you're right across from me. Because I'm the type of person that's loves telling what God's doing for me. You know what I'm saying? I find it extremely motivating when I hear my friends are like, yo, like God told me this. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. But yeah, this video took like 30 minutes to finally not sit down and make. Okay. You can go ahead and turn off the video if like you don't feel like just hearing me yap, but I'm going to yap hard right here. I was outside and I took the puppy outside and I was like, yo, like, let me just go ahead and film this video. I didn't have like a notepad. I know I wanted to film this video, like an introduction to the channel, but like I didn't know when. So, you know, I was like, hey, I'm just gonna do it. Like I know I want to. So I started. Extra windy. Puppy was running around everywhere, getting into everything, you know what I'm saying? Super distracting. But then did that about 20 minutes, just wasn't working. I tried to edit it. Nah, just wasn't feeling right. Wind was blowing everywhere. Then I finally came in here and I was like, let me try again. So this is this video. If you're seeing this, that means it worked. It was better than before. But yeah, that's it.